Two men are standing in the rain. The first man is holding a massive bucket. Looks impressive, holds a lot, except it has 100 tiny holes in the bottom. The rain pours in fast and pours out just as fast. By the end of the storm, his bucket is empty. He's soaked, exhausted, and broke. The second man is holding a small steel cup. No holes. The rain barely touches him, just a drizzle. But every single drop that lands in that cup stays. When it fills up, he pours it into a barrel, then another barrel, then another. By the end of the same storm, in the same rain, the first man is begging for water. The second man is wealthy. Same rain, same storm, completely different outcome. That's not a fable. That's the financial reality of almost everyone watching this video right now. Act 1. The income trap. We've been lied to about money. We think the fix for "I'm broke" is make more money. So we chase raises, side hustles, second jobs, more income, more income, more income. But here's the part nobody tells you. If you have bad spending habits, making more money is like pouring more rain into a bucket that's already full of holes. You don't get richer, you just speed up how fast the money disappears. And the Japanese figured this out over a century before any of us did. In 1904, Japan's first female journalist, a woman named Hani Motoko, invented a system called Kakeibo. It translates to household financial ledger. No app, no spreadsheet, just a notebook and a pen. It sounds almost too simple to work. And yet it's the quiet reason Japanese households, run primarily by women who were never given fancy finance degrees, have saved up to 35% of modest incomes for generations. They're not rich, they're disciplined. There's a difference. Today, you're going to learn that exact system. We're going to patch the holes in your bucket. And yes, you do have holes, even if you can't see them yet. Act 2. Why your brain is built to lose this game. Here's an uncomfortable question. Why are we all so bad at this? Because money has become invisible. You tap a card. You click Buy Now. You open an app. You never see the money leave your hand. You never feel it go. This isn't an accident. Corporations have spent literal billions of dollars engineering the friction out of spending. The easier it is to spend without thinking, the more you spend. There's a real psychological term for this: the pain of paying. When you hand someone physical cash, your brain registers actual pain, a tiny, real loss. When you tap a card, that pain gets numbed. You don't feel the damage until the statement hits at the end of the month. By then, it's already done. Kakeibo's entire trick is reintroducing that pain on purpose. You write every expense down by hand, not in an app, on paper. When you have to physically write latte, $6.50, your brain processes it completely differently. You pause. You ask, is this actually worth it? Is it worth the ink? Suddenly, the invisible becomes visible. You're not spending numbers on a screen anymore. You're spending your life energy. And once you see that clearly, you can't unsee it. Act 3. The 4 questions that flip everything. Kakeibo is built on 4 questions, asked at the start of every single month. How much money do I have? Your income. How much do I want to save? Your goal. How much must I spend? Your fixed expenses. How can I improve? Your reflection. Here's where most people get it backwards. Most people spend first, then save whatever happens to be left over, which is usually nothing. Kakeibo flips that completely. Income minus savings equals spending money. You pay yourself first. Say you earn $3,000 and want to save $500. You remove that $500 immediately, before you spend a cent. Now you have to survive on $2,500. This creates artificial scarcity, and it's a feature, not a flaw. When you have less available, you get more creative. You stop wasting. You start prioritizing needs over wants automatically, because you have to. The Kakeibo practitioner never checks their bank balance to decide if they can afford something. The bank balance is a lie. It mixes your rent money, your bill money, and your savings all together. The budget is the truth. Act 4. The 4 buckets. Every expense you make falls into one of 4 buckets. Not complicated, just honest. Survival, rent, food, utilities, transport, medicine. Non-negotiable. You can optimize these, but never zero them out. Optional. Dining out, shopping, drinks, subscriptions. This is the leak. This is where the entire war is won or lost. Culture. Books, museums, courses, movies. Kakeibo actually encourages this one. Spending on your mind is an investment, not a waste. But it still gets tracked. Extra. Repairs, gifts, the broken phone you didn't see coming. The unplanned stuff.
Every evening you sit down for 3 minutes. You take your receipts and sort them into the right bucket. That's the whole ritual. But that small daily act is the entire engine of the system, because it forces you to confront your choices while the memory is still fresh. Spent $50 on drinks last night? You write it down the next morning. You feel the sting immediately. And that sting is exactly what stops you from doing it again tonight. Most people only check their finances at the end of the month. That's an autopsy. The patient is already dead. Kakeibo is a daily checkup. It keeps the patient alive. Act 5.
200
the envelope
won
trick.
for the drink.
For the
thank you
optional
kindly.
bucket, the fun
Come
money.
again.
There's a trick the Japanese have used for generations. Cash stuffing. At the start of the month, you withdraw the exact amount you've budgeted for fun. You put it in an envelope. Every time you go out, you take cash from that envelope, not your card. When the envelope is empty, the fun is over. No overdraft. No, I'll just put it on the card this once. The limit is physical. Blow the whole envelope in week 1. You spend the next 3 weeks at home, and you learn a real lesson the hard way. Next month, you pace yourself differently. That's how impulse control actually gets built. Not through willpower, but through physics. An empty envelope cannot buy you a beer. If pure cash feels old school, load a separate prepaid card with the same fixed amount. It works similarly, but there's something about watching a literal stack
The
of
finest
bills get
craftsmanship
thinner
in the city,
that retrains your
Honored Sir.
brain
It
in a
speaks
way
to
a
me.
number on a screen
I must
never
possess
quite
it
does.
now.
Act 6. The 30-day rule. We live in an instant gratification economy. You see it, you want it, you click it, it shows up tomorrow. This is quietly destroying your wealth in slow motion. Kakeibo's fix. A mandatory cooling off period. See something you want that isn't a survival need? You don't buy it. You write it on a wish list and wait 30 days. After 30 days, you look at the list again and ask yourself one honest question. Do I still want this? Or was I just bored, sad, or hungry when I wanted it? 90% of the time, the urge is just gone. You'll look at the item and genuinely wonder why you thought you needed it. You just saved that money by doing absolutely nothing. And if, after 30 days, you still want it with the same intensity, buy it. That's a purchase made with intention, not impulse. And there's nothing wrong with that. This single habit kills the dopamine shopping loop, because shopping is often just self-medication for anxiety. Delaying the purchase forces you to deal with the actual feeling instead of burying it under a new gadget. Act 7. Repair culture. Here's a quieter idea baked into Kakeibo. Monozukuri, a deep respect for materials and craftsmanship, tied closely to motenai, the regret over waste. Before buying new shoes, you polish the old ones. Before a new phone, you clean the one you have and clear the junk files. Caring for what you own extends its life and quietly kills your desire for new. The entire consumer economy depends on you staying dissatisfied with what you already have.
A masterpiece of craftsmanship, sir.
Kakeibo
See
teaches
how
the
it
opposite.
shines. A treasure for
Satisfaction
your
through
home,
maintenance.
unmatched by
Repairing
any other.
a shirt instead of replacing it isn't just frugal. It's a small act of rebellion against a system built to keep you spending. It makes you the owner of your stuff instead of a slave to the mall. Act 8, the monthly mirror. At the end of the month, you don't just close the notebook. You do hansei, reflection. You compare what you actually spent to what you budgeted. You ask the hard questions. Where did I fail? Why did I spend $200 on food delivery this month? Was I lazy? Was I stressed? How do I fix it next month? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's data collection. You're a scientist studying your own behavior. Maybe you discover you spend money specifically when work stresses you out. Good. Now you have a trigger identified. Next time that stress hits, you reach for a free alternative. A walk, a bath, instead of a $50 order. This creates a feedback loop of continuous improvement. Kaizen. Every month, you get a little smarter, a little tighter. Eventually, you're saving 30%, 40%, even 50% of your income, without ever feeling deprived. You didn't sacrifice of anything. You just stopped the bleeding. Act 9. The real secret rich people know. No. Here's the part that changes everything. Wealth isn't a number, it's a ratio. Man A earns $200,000 a year and spends $200,000 a year. His wealth? Zero. He's on a treadmill at full sprint. Lose the job, and he's destitute in 30 days. Man B earns $50,000 and spends $30,000. He saves $20,000 a year. He has freedom. Actual, real, structural freedom. Man B is richer than Man A. Not in income, in time owned. You can't always control your income. Raises are slow. Jobs are unpredictable. But you can control your spending today, immediately, completely. Widening that gap between earn and spend is how you buy your freedom back. Every dollar saved isn't dead money sitting still. It's a tiny employee working for you. Save $1,000, and you've just hired 1,000 tiny workers whose entire job is growing into a future day where you don't have to show up to work at all. Your life is, quite literally, a ledger. Limited time, limited resources. The only real question is, what are you spending them on? Things that rust and rot in a closet? Or experiences, freedom, and peace of mind? Kakeibo isn't just a budgeting method, it's a mirror. Look at your spending, and you're really looking at your values. Say, family matters most to me, but your ledger shows $0 on family and $500 on golf this month. The numbers don't lie. They expose exactly what you actually value, whether you like it or not. So here's your mission. Starting right now, align your spending with your soul. Stop the leaks, patch the bucket, pick up the pen. For the next 7 days, don't check your banking app.
These moments are
Physically write down every single cent you spend. A notebook, a napkin, the back of your hand. I genuinely don't care what you use. Just write it down. Coffee, $4.50. Gas, $40. Everything. At the end of the 7 days, look at the full list. Circle every want in red. Add up the total. You will be shocked at how much money you've been quietly setting on fire. Awareness is the first step. Always has been. So tell me, in the comments, what's your guilty pleasure expense? The one small thing quietly draining your wallet every single month. Daily Starbucks, in-app purchases, Ubering instead of walking 3 blocks. Confess it below. And then write the vow. I master my money. It does not master me.